On the night of July 29, 2005, in Huyton, Merseyside, black British student Anthony Delano Walker was killed by Michael Barton and Barton's cousin Paul Taylor, using an ice axe in an unprovoked racist attack. Walker was in his second year of A-levels and 18 years old. He shared a home with his two sisters, one brother, and his parents G and Steve Walker. On that fatal evening, Anthony Walker and his girlfriend Louise Thompson watched his nephew in the evening at home. Walker's cousin Marcus Binns accompanied the couple as they walked to the bus stop at 11 p.m. there. They ran into 17-year-old Michael Barton, who made threats to stab Walker and Binns. Barton and his 20-year-old friend Paul Taylor followed Walker, Thompson and Binns as they walked to a different bus stop close to McGoldrick Park. They drove to the park and ambushed them when they arrived. Walker was fatally wounded when Taylor struck him in the head with an ice axe, which became lodged in his skull and caused brain damage. Binns and Thompson were able to flee and seek assistance. Between November and December 2005, the trial was held, and on December 1, 2005, Taylor and Barton were found guilty of the murder. The cousins had carried out a terrifying ambush and a racist attack of a type poisonous to any civilized society, according to Lord Justice Leveson, who handed down life sentences with minimum terms of 23 years and 8 months for Taylor, who had admitted the murder just before the trial, and 17 years and 8 months for Barton. In 2016, Barton's sentence was shortened by 8 months to 17 years due to behavioural and attitude improvements. Barton spent 17 years in prison before being released from custody in September 2022. The panel on parole board expressed its satisfaction that Mr. Barton was qualified for release. According to parole board documents, Barton had an antisocial lifestyle at the time of his offence that was fueled by drugs and alcohol. He also displayed racist attitudes and a willingness to use violence, as well as misguided loyalty to like-minded people. At 34 years old, Barton was mandated to serve a minimum of 18 years before being eligible for parole. This was lowered by 1 year following an appeal in the High Court in 2016, which resulted in a remarkable transformation. Barton spent 17 years in prison before being released from custody in September 2022. In February of last year, Barton, the brother of former Premiership football player Joey Barton, was transferred to an open prison. According to the parole board ruling, which was made public on Thursday, the review panel could only order Barton's release if it was convinced that his continued incarceration would no longer be required for the public's safety. The panel was satisfied that Mr. Barton was suitable for release after considering the circumstances of his offence, the progress made while in custody, and the evidence presented at the hearing, the panel said in its conclusion. Living at a designated address, adhering to curfews, increased supervision and monitoring, limiting contacts and activities, and maintaining an exclusion zone to prevent contact with victims are all part of his licence conditions.